Hey YouTubers, Raven here.
Starfire.
Tonight we'll be talking about the last two episodes of
Once Upon a Time. So episode 4 and episode 5.
Yeah.
Episode 4 was called Beauty and episode 5 was called Greenbacks.
Yeah.
Which was on Friday.
Yeah.
So.
I liked them both.
I did too, but I think I liked Beauty more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
it was more in the Enchanted story.
Yeah, and I also like, you know, whenever we get stuff with Henry and Jacinda, because I like them. So
yeah,
whenever we get any scenes, I'm just like, yay! And we didn't get a whole lot with them in this episode on Friday. So
yeah,
it was more about Tiana and you know, Ivy and Regina and stuff like that. So, or Ronnie.
Yeah. And the mysterious picture.
Yes. And he's like, that's me.
Yeah. But let's do the Beauty first and then we'll...
Okay. I'm trying to even remember everything that happened in Beauty.
Well, their son grew up.
Yeah.
Right before our eyes. I'm like, what doesn't make sense to me is that Henry looks the same age as their son.
Mm-hmm.
But their son was born when Henry was 15.
Yeah.
They're basically 15 or so years apart. They should not look
Henry's
the same
probably
damn age.
in his 30s.
Yeah, but look at their son. He's in there in his mid to late 20s.
Probably.
Almost done with his college courses. What the hell? I'm
he's probably 23, 24.
The age, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. But most things on this show don't make sense.
Because Belle for Belle to age that quickly, while Henry is still that young.
Yeah.
I
cried though when she died. I was just like, why?
She was so smart.
Why does this show have to make me cry? Damn this show! I was so mad.
I was mad, but I felt justified in it.
Well, no, I did too, but I was
thing
just mad that it made me emotional because
yeah.
Usually Once Upon a Time doesn't make me emotional.
No, but it's Belle and Rumple.
Yeah. It was such a beautifully crafted story.
Yeah.
And just to see that come to a close, it was sad.
I wish we could have seen how they got back, when they got back together.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of okay that I didn't, because we have already seen that happen.
Right.
30 billion times.
Yeah,
but
true. They've been reunited so many times.
Yeah. But the idea that she knew all along that the setting sun was her life, not the actual sun.
And he's like, why didn't you tell me? And she's like, because you wouldn't have let me, you know.
Yeah, we would have spent the rest of our lives looking for a different way.
Yeah. And she's like, I wanted us to do it this way.
Yeah, she wanted to be able to spend her life with him.
Yeah.
Enjoying each other.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved how she went.
Yeah.
It was the same as the moment they fell for each other.
Yeah.
That, it was just it was the perfect opening and closing of a story.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that.
And they also played the music again. And
that's because they actually danced.
Yeah.
Again.
But I mean, I don't know. It was really good.
It was. I loved that episode.
Me too.
Because
I almost wished that was the one that we were reviewing.
Right.
Because it was so good.
Yeah. I love how Rumple tried to get rid of his dagger. That shows so much growth.
And then somebody, that I follow on Tumblr who's a big, Swanfire fan, she realized that line that he said where, he already gave up one son or something, he didn't want to give it to another son. And it's it was a reference to Neil or to Bellfire, and she was freaking out because,
But you see, the person that... See, Rumpel has to find the person that gets to hold the dagger.
Right.
He has to find the person to give it to. The Guardian, whoever the Guardian is.
Mm-hmm.
We know the Guardian's not gonna be, like, Henry, because he's the author and
Right.
the new savior, I guess, and
Henry doesn't need to have the dagger.
yeah. I think that it's either, when I saw that scene between them, my first instinct was his son is the Guardian. Because, I mean, it kind of just goes. Like, he was meant to be the savior. It's only right that his son, the son of the true, of the person who was truly meant to be the savior, not the second runner-up, but the first chosen savior, that his child would be the one to save the universe from the Dark One. Like, that only makes sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm looking at what he did with the cup in that episode,
Mm-hmm.
and how he gave it to Alice to guard the cup to bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she is kind of the guardian of Wonderland.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's one of the two, I think. Is either his son, Gideon, right?
Yeah, Gideon.
It's either Gideon or Alice.
His name was Gideon. It'd be cool if it was Alice, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that it would be really awesome if it was.
Actually give something to someone that's not in the family.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Alice in Wonderland, like, her story is cool anyway. Because it's so crazy and bizarre and interesting and just, I don't know, I think it would be cool to have that.
I loved the whole thing about the pill, how it makes her small again. I'm so big! Like, like, I'm thinking about, like, the pies.
I know a lot
and
of people thought the animated Alice in Wonderland was kind of boring, but I liked it as a kid. I thought it was, like, fun to watch.
I never watched it as a kid. I waited until I was probably...
I owned the VHS, so I watched it.
That's I think what I watched it on, but I didn't watch it until I was like 17.
Oh wow.
I found it boring as hell. I only watched it because I liked the live action.
It's a little bit boring, but I thought some of it was kind of fun.
And the one reason why I went back to watch that, the animated version, was because I just got done watching that Charmed episode.
Which Charmed episode?
The one where they're kidnapping all these people down the rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah.
And they keep coming up talking about the rabbit hole and Alice and not being late. And
yeah.
Yeah. So I watched that and I was like, I've never seen the original.
Well, I mean, it's a little slow.
Yeah.
But there's parts of it that I like, that I enjoy.
Yeah.
I mean, if I watched it again now, I probably would think it's a little boring. But as a kid, I was like, it's kind of cool.
I mean, the concept is awesome.
Yeah.
But I
don't know. I just
didn't
remember
execute it
watching
very
that
well.
one quite a bit when I was young.
Mm.
And it wasn't necessarily my favorite Disney movie, but I think I just kind of thought it was interesting. So I watched it.
Yeah. But I really like this Alice.
Yeah.
Like, they got, like, the perfect person. Like,
They did.
The funny thing is that this Alice even reminds me of the rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, how she sits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she sits like this. If you guys watch anime, you know who I'm talking about from Death Note, but Elle. She kind of sits a little bit like Elle. Like, sometimes.
Cool.
That means she's like squatting when she sits. She doesn't actually sit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. But yeah, I just loved how they made her seem confusing, and that the depression medication is what's keeping her from being who she is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like her too.
I want to know what happened to the dagger, because obviously by current time, the dagger's gone and he's not the Dark One.
He's not.
Because if he was, then one, he'd be immune to the spell, because he's the Dark One, he'll find a way around it. And two...
I think they've just worn that story out so much that they kind of just can't do much more with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I want the dagger to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
So, plus I'm enjoying Rumble in his street clothes.
Yes. And but I loved when he, like, confronted, whatever her name is.
Ivy?
No.
Oh.
The stepmom.
Yeah. Gosh, I always forget her name.
Right?
Victoria.
Belfry, yeah.
Yeah. Victoria Belfry.
Yeah. And then, like...
I just thought it was interesting in episode 5 that Ivy remembered who she was.
Right?
She's like, it's not Ivy, it's Gisela. And I'm like, what?
Right?
I'm like, how does she know who she is? What happened?
Freaked out. I'm like, what the hell?
I'm like, how does she know?
And, like, okay, all of a sudden she's this bad, in a good way, character.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously she's still evil, but, like, she's a badass. Like, what? Like, she's going behind her mom's back, and she doesn't care.
I think that talk she had with Henry kind of helped her.
Yeah,
you know,
but I don't know. Like, it just seems like she wants to be her mom, not take her down. Like, you know what I mean? And, I mean, I guess that's kind of a cool storyline to go with, but, like, be your own person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I think she's trying to be more of her own person now.
Mm.
Ivy. But I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. But, yeah. See, we had so much to say about Belle. About the Belle episode, and now it's just like, well, we've kind of segued into this one.
Well, I mean,
what
like, I liked that we saw, I mean, what's her friend's name in the present? It's not Tiana, it's something else.
Right.
Anyway, the person that plays Tiana, I like that we saw that, like, her story in the fairy tale world.
Mm-hmm.
I like that we got to see that. And, that, you know, that was interesting.
Yeah, like how, cause like, like, I didn't watch the animated movie.
I've seen it like once.
The whole
but I don't
Princess
really
and the
remember
Frog thing just doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah. I do like some of the songs in it.
Bits of it because my mom watched it.
Yeah, I saw it with like my cousin one time because she liked
the
it.
bits I saw didn't impress me, so I never watched it.
Well, I liked the songs because I like how the songs are kind of real jazzy and like bluesy. So I liked some of the music in it, but I've only seen the movie once, so.
So I was just like, whatever, you know. But I know that in the movie Tiana's like this cook or baker or whatever, and like she's supporting herself.
Yeah.
And really she's just a commoner that becomes a princess because she fell in love with a prince.
Right.
But in this story, she's a princess who loses everything.
Yeah.
And just becomes a awesome person along the way, like.
And then like the guy that she's like kind of with, you know, what does he end up doing? He like betrays her or something. Not betrays her. I don't know, but like, isn't she with somebody? Like she meets a guy
In the movie?
No, in the episode.
No, the guy that she was kind of sort of with was in love with the frog.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see.
Yeah. Who was a woman before she became a frog.
That's really weird.
The
That's why when, like, he kissed the frog and he became a frog, I'm like, why are there two frogs?
Oh, like, she got turned into a frog by the dude.
Oh.
Who only got his powers back because Tiana gave him the damn sunstone or whatever it is.
Oh, okay.
And sunstone. But it's a plane.
Oh. It's flying really low.
They do that a lot. I'm home enough to be used to that. But like he did a spell on her to turn her into a frog.
Uh-huh.
And he's been trying to get her back. But the catch is that it's not turning the princess, like, it's not I kiss a frog and my prince returns. Or the princess in his matter. It's I kiss a frog and I'm going to spend the rest of my life with her, whether or not I'm a frog and she's a frog, or we're both human.
Right.
Like, they jump away in merry frog bliss. Like,
yeah.
And instead of having 1 or 2 children at a time, they'll have a couple dozen. But I mean, like, reality.
Yeah.
And they'll become grandparents much faster.
Wow. Yeah, so I liked seeing that side of the story for Tiana.
Yeah.
And then how in the present, like, her and Jacinda were doing the catering and all that, and how that connected with, like, her story in the fairy tale world. And
yeah, what I'm curious about is how she actually became a cook.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't a cook as a princess.
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't a cook when she was leading the rebel army.
Yeah.
So, when did she find time to learn how to make beignets?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and then when Ronnie was all telling Henry that he should ask Jacinda out, I was like, just do it, dude.
Yeah, and she was like, I know I'm not your mother, but you need someone to give you motherly advice. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? You are his mother, and you're
but
doing
she
your job.
remember that she's his mother.
I know. But, like, the
He doesn't
picture
remember
said it
that
all.
she's
Come
his
on,
mother.
the picture.
And he doesn't remember that she's his mother either.
Nope.
Well, his adopted mother, but yeah.
Yeah. See, all this just makes me wonder how the hell Rumple got sucked into it. Because we know how Hook got there. We know how Regina got there. Because they were traveling with Henry, trying to save, trying to rebel against the stepmom.
Mm-hmm.
With Tiana and Jacinda. Why did I say Jacinda? Whatever. With Tiana and Jacinda. And so that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But where the hell did Rumple come from?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, he didn't come when Henry called with the bottle, so...
Yeah, I don't know.
How would he get the memo? Like,
Yeah. I hope that they address that,
yeah.
like, with Rumple. I'm sure they will.
And the thing that I find kind of funny is
Mhm.
I don't think that Victoria knows who Rumple is.
Oh, yeah, I don't think she does either.
Like, I don't think
she knows how powerful he can be.
Yeah. Because even without the, like, Dark One magic, like, we saw in the alternate universe when the one in which the spell was never cast, Rumple became this light magic wizard, and he went around saving people. So, he's got magic in him. So, I mean, I don't know if that was ripped out when he became not the savior anymore,
Mm-hmm.
but if it's still, he should still have some sort of magic in him.
Right.
And I think that we're gonna see him learn how to use his true magic and not anything else, and that'll be his true power.
Yeah.
In which, like, the one thing he's been searching for, you know, and it'll probably come when he has to stand up and stop being a coward. Like, he'll have to make a stand at some point. And I think that's when his light magic will finally, like, shine through and he'll save someone or do something and realize, hey,
Yeah.
I can do this. I didn't need magic, but it came to me when I needed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to depend on this dark stuff that eats away at my soul.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crossing my fingers for that to happen.
Well, it might. I don't know.
I highly doubt it, but that would be cool.
Yeah. I mean, I know that they will, like, go back to Rumple eventually and
Yeah.
talk about everything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the episodes have been pretty good this season so far.
Yeah.
And then Regina or Ronnie, like, finding that picture and then freaking her remembering, oh, I'm Drizella. Like, how the heck does she remember?
Maybe she never forgot.
Maybe, and she's just playing along and acting like she forgot.
Yeah. Like, we haven't seen her in the Enchanted
Forest.
I don't even know if that's what it's called. Like, we don't know if it's
The
called
Enchanted
the Enchanted
Realm?
Sure. Because the Enchanted Forest is where Snow and Charming are.
Yeah, the Enchanted
So,
Realm.
but I mean,
maybe?
like, they're in a forest a lot, and it's a story realm.
Yeah.
So it's like,
The fairy tale realm.
yeah, like,
It's the fairy tale realm.
yes, it's the 10th kingdom. Only we're the 10th kingdom, so technically that would be what, the second kingdom?
I guess. I got her the DVDs of that miniseries.
Cinderella.
She showed it to me on YouTube, and then, like, Target had it for really cheap, so I'm like, I'll just get it for her.
You should all watch the 10th Kingdom. It's an amazing...
If you haven't already seen it, it's like a 10-part, like, miniseries or whatever.
It's an amazing miniseries.
But, it's, like, the episodes aren't that long.
No.
They're like an hour.
It's
probably.
kind of cheesy, but you get past it really. I mean, if you can stand Once Upon a Time, you can breeze through this.
Yeah.
So.
My favorite, what I was gonna say earlier was one of my favorite, like, versions of Alice that they've done is the miniseries they did called Alice on Sci-Fi.
I haven't seen that.
It's only like 2 parts, but it's really good. I actually watched it on YouTube. I don't know if the full thing is still on there, but it's good.
You know, my favorite
because I haven't seen the live action Alice movies.
Yeah. Well, the first one was good. I don't know about the second. I haven't seen it.
I'm just not a Johnny Depp fan.
Yeah.
And I know he's in those.
Yeah. So, yeah. Like,
that might be shocking to some people.
I hope that they... Like, I know they kicked a lot of characters because they're kind of rebooting. But
they're rebooting everything, it seems.
Yeah, but, like... They never completed Mulan's storyline. And I want to see...
Yeah.
Like, she can't just be a traveling lone hero. Like,
Right.
that's not Mulan. Mulan finds love and she lives happily ever after protecting
there was
her
a
people.
lot of the fairy tale stories that they brought on and they didn't finish.
Yeah.
So if it continues past season 7, maybe they'll do it this time because they're kind of rebooting.
Mm-hmm.
So they might address them in different ways and do different twists on them and, you know, actually continue with them instead of just bringing them on for a few episodes and then stopping. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, you going on about the Alice thing just reminded me of Ruby, which reminded me of...
Yeah, well, we're not, I don't think we're going to see Ruby again.
No, probably not. She ran off to live happily ever after with Dorothy.
And the actress isn't even, I think she's doing, like, Hallmark stuff now. So we're probably not going to see Ruby again.
Yeah. Which is sad. She was an amazing character. But, like, that just made me think of my favorite, like, side story of a character, and it's Dorothy. My favorite, like, Dorothy-esque show is Tin Man. Like, Tin Man, you have to watch Tin Man. Yeah.
What was it, like 3 parts? I think it was like 3.
It was 3 or 4. I'm pretty sure it was 3, but...
Because I remember when we watched it, it was on Netflix, and I think it was like 3 parts.
And there's that new, I don't know if it got renewed for a second season, but that Oz show, like...
The Emerald City.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I don't know, but that was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
I'd actually have to look that up, because I'm not sure.
So, yeah, those are, like, 3 things you guys... It's 3 or 4 things
if it didn't get renewed, that really sucks, because the way they ended it, it needs to continue.
So those are, like, 4 miniseries that you guys should watch. Or
Emerald City is a TV show.
And, yeah, 3 miniseries and a show that you guys should watch.
If you're okay with watching miniseries, because sometimes they can be kind of long and they can be, like, you know...
Yeah.
But they're worth it, usually. Yeah, I think it only went 1 season, because it says 2016 to 2017.
Well, it is still currently 2017.
Yeah, but if it was going to continue, there would be a dash next to the year. It wouldn't have a completed, like, it wouldn't go from, you know, 1 year to 1 year. Like, it would be blank there.
Yeah.
So it means it'd still be present, like, it'd still be airing. So I don't think that it's going to come back.
Sadness. That was a really good show. So, yeah, like, some extra watching that you guys can do. Suggestions.
Yeah. Like I said, I think Alice might still be on YouTube, both, because it's only 2 parts. But the way they did it, like, the twist they put on it, it says that it's more modern. Like, I think it came out in, like, 2010 or something like that. But it was really good. Like, I really liked it.
Yeah. So yeah. Anything else you want to talk about? Like,
let me see if I can find it. Not Alice Through the Looking Glass. Here, yeah, 2009 miniseries, 4 hours. So I think, like, it was 2 parts, and each part was like 2 hours. But it was good. So, yeah, just 2 parts.
Yeah. So there's some things for you guys to watch.
But it said everything you know about Alice's adventures in Wonderland is about to be turned upside down in this modern-day miniseries event. Kathy Bates is in it. Tim Curry is in it. So, like, there's some pretty famous people in it. Tin Man was 2007. Can't believe that's 10 years old.
Oh, Lord. I remember watching it when it first came, like,
yeah, it's 3 parts. Tin Man is 3 parts. So those are shorter miniseries. 10th Kingdom is long.
Yeah, like...
It's fun, but it's really long.
It is.
Sometimes I have a hard time watching miniseries that are that long.
I think that, like, every once in a while you'll run across, like, one of the episodes is, like, an hour
I do better when it's, like, shorter.
Some of those episodes are 2 to 3 hours long.
Yeah, they are. So. Like, this 10th Kingdom is total, it's 6 hours and 57 minutes in total. So there's 10 parts. So they're probably each about like 40 something minutes each.
I guess.
I don't know. but it's a longer miniseries.
It is, but
It's 8.4 out of 10, so it's good.
Yeah. I'd rate it.
I mean,
very
it's worth
high,
it.
so.
I'm just saying that, you know, for people that have, like, short attention spans and stuff, you definitely would have to break it down.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it deals with Snow White, with the evil queen.
Yeah, it says a father and daughter, or 2 centuries after Snow White and Cinderella had their adventures, the 9 kingdoms ready themselves for the coronation of Prince Wendell, Snow White's grandson, to the throne of the 4th kingdom. But an evil once queen has freed herself from prison and turns the prince into a golden retriever. Wendell, by means of a magic mirror, escapes into hitherto unknown 10th kingdom, modern-day New York City, and meets Virginia and her father Tony. Pursued by trolls, cops, and a wolf in man's form, the 3 blunder back into the 9 kingdoms and begin their adventures to restore Wendell to his human form and throne, and find the magic mirror that will take Tony and Virginia back home. All the while unknowing that Virginia already has a connection to the 9 kingdoms that may prove deadly before we reach happily ever after.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good.
You
It's
mean
interesting.
Snow White, you got Cinderella's son.
And the one who plays Virginia is Kimberly Williams. So if you don't know who she is, she's married to Brad Paisley. And she's been in like some movies and stuff, like she was in the Father of the Bride movies and some other things. So
Yeah. And it was her younger years, so I mean.
it was 2000, yeah. So it's been a while. It's like 17 years old.
Yes. And I love the suggestive parts in it.
The trolls drove me nuts, though.
This song is about a fever that only strikes on what, Saturday?
And I don't know.
The song.
And Tin Man has
Fever.
Zoe Deschanel, who plays Dorothy.
Mm-hmm.
What was her name in it? DG.
DJ. I know. I was just like DJ. Like as soon as you said
Yeah.
DG.
It stands for Dorothy Gale.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, Zoe Deschanel plays Dorothy.
Two little
And the guy
princesses
who's the villain on Arrow,
Mm-hmm. Damien Dark.
Damien Dark, plays the Tin Man in Tin Man. So.
He has a really great storyline.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So there's some, and Richard Dreyfuss is in it too. He's Mystic Man.
Oh, yeah, he's the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, you guys should really check those out.
If you haven't already.
Yes. Like,
Because they all kind of relate to Once Upon a Time. If you like the TV show, then you'll like those miniseries.
yeah, and by relate, we mean they're in the same vein.
Yeah, because
as-
one's about Alice in Wonderland, one's about like Snow White and the 10 Kingdoms, and the other is about Dorothy and like you know the modern retelling of the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And they've done so many stories of that.
But it's
Wicked,
so good.
Emerald City, you know, the Wizard of Oz, like it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. So there's all that to look forward to watch and
Yes.
to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Let
you
us
guys-
know if you guys
yeah.
have seen them.
If you guys have seen them, let us know in the comments or on Twitter, and we will respond.
If you haven't, we can also, like, you know, not spoil you.
Yes.
But we'll just be like, all right, well, check them out.
Yeah. Like,
So-
we will have
Like,
conversations.
hey,
with
if
you
I'm
about
able to
them.
find them, I might be able to provide you links to them if, like, they're around or something. But you should be able to find them.
Yeah. And if you guys want to talk about it, if you've seen it, or if you're
And if
like if
not-
you start watching and you want to talk about it, then all
If
for
not,
it.
I'm sure you could rent them. Like, Netflix would have them if you do
Okay,
the
I was gonna say yeah, because Blockbuster is still a thing.
No, I mean, for people that don't just do the streaming on Netflix and they actually still do
Yeah.
the renting where they have the discs
Mhm.
sent to them, which we do, along with streaming, like, you can rent them.
Yeah.
So,
No, I know. That's how I watch Birds of Prey.
If you can't find them online anywhere, which I'm sure you probably can because they're not that old.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that's old is 10th Kingdom. But when we watched that, I think we saw it on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're still on there because that was like 3 or 4 years ago. But,
It should still be on there.
But it should still be. And Alice probably is too. I can even look right now.
But, yeah, so there's all that. Anything else you want to...
Not really.
Yeah. So...
I guess
until next time, be careful, dearie.
Because magic always comes with a price.